Well, hello everyone. I'm Gus Sanchez. Thank you for coming and welcome to another edition of the World of Blocks. So, beat it, my friends. You just know how hard your life could really go if you take it all the way through. And when people say, you're not in our world, we believe in their world. Just quoting on that. I believe so. But anyway, so if you're ready, I think I am. I believe so. This is definitely the right time to get through this, and I probably know life just can't be sweet when it comes to your family and your friends. But so let's get right to the episode, shall we? You ready for this? Good. Let's get started. And before we do, we're going to remind you that episode 50 was yesterday. It was the Elements of Infinia, Chapter 7, Life, Infinia, and Everything. If you want to go check it out, the link will be on the top right corner of the screen. The end of the episode is simple right there. You can go check it out right now. However, everything must begin, so without further ado, let us begin, and here we go. That's right. This is the second to final chapter of the Elements of Infinia, and this time it is Chapter 8, In the Dark of the Night. Oh my gosh. Don't worry about this. We promise it won't be. It won't end. I promise me. Also, on Saturday, we start a brand new story here on the World of Blocks. It's the Book of Tail Blocks. So be on the lookout for that when it comes out. For now, though, let's get right into today's edition of the World of Blocks. As the Elements of Infinia is almost over, so let's begin. As always, credit goes to Infinite Sanity Pin over on TV Art. He was the one who created all of this, and we thank you for the creation of the series. You want to go check it out? The link is in the description below. The link in the description. Thank you, Infinite Sanity Pit, for the creation of the series. One final thing, warning, Learning Blocks is a property of Palooza Animation Studios, unlocked over and the BBC. Of course, it's a British Broadcasting Corporation. No copyright infringement is intended. I own nothing. You have been warned. Thank you so very much, and now, enjoy the story, everyone. The World of Blocks, The Elements of Infinia, Chapter 8, In the Dark of the Night. Nighttime was approaching, and all the Chem Blocks and Element Blocks agreed that since darkness at Dream's powers, going to sleep was a bad idea. Instead, everyone prepared to fight back against him and his followers. The Fire Force trained with fire himself. Platinum sharpened her sword, and several of the Chem Blocks were creating their own weapons. Carpet had already used diamonds against Seeker, so she was all set, especially since diamonds were the hardest gem in existence. Aluminum and oxygen combined with each other to make a ruby sword and a sapphire spear. Are you sure? Are you seriously planning to use a trash bag as a weapon? I asked. Look at the Lieutenant, who was lugging around a particularly large bag. The blood force will be sure to knock anybody out, he declared. If that doesn't get the smell certainly will. You're disgusting, was all I had to say to him. Up on the top of periodic compartments, Gold stared out at the horizon. Silver soon joined them, taking the hold of his arm in a gesture comfort. As they watched the sun lower, a great dread filled them both. However, knowing how many brave blocks were preparing themselves for battle, they felt confident that they could win against darkness. XXX. It was now night in Infinia, and a bright light shone in the dark, coming from a glowing yellow block. Light, the final element block, was on high alert, knowing that darkness wanted to take her on himself. While she stayed wary, she knew that she had the advantage over him. Little did she know that he had gained some new advantages. She sped all across Infinia, hoping she didn't run into the dark block. However, she soon felt something heavy slam into her. She got up quickly to see that darkness had caught her by surprise. "How did you do that?" she asked. You're nowhere near as fast as me." "Well, I'm a lot faster now, thanks to sound." Darkness's response made Light's eyes widen in horror. "Sound?" she squeaked out. Sound was Light's girlfriend, and Darkness knew that this would hit her especially hard. "Indeed, but she's not the only one I captured." Darkness suddenly shot out a blast of magic, which Light managed to dodge thanks to her super speed. She ran away as fast as she could, knowing that Darkness couldn't fully catch up to her with Sound's speed. Just then, another block sped up to her. "Electricity!" Light whispered. "What are you doing here?" "We gotta go to Chemland," Electricity quickly told her. "There's reinforcements waiting to help us beat darkness." The two element blocks ran in the direction of Campland, leaving darkness in the dust. Sound's excellent hearing had allowed him to hear what electricity had said. So the Chem blocks are waiting to fight me? This will be fun. He decided to go back to his lair and gather up his minions, ready to claim the rest of the element blocks and make those foolish Chem blocks suffer. 6. Outside of periodic apartments, the Chem blocks and remaining element blocks were waiting. Electricity and Light zoomed up to the large group. Alright, everybody, Electricity told them. Get ready to fight! Light and Electricity took their place in the crowd, and Light whispered to something to Silver. The blocks waited for darkness and his forces to arrive, and sure enough, they were soon spotted and approaching the dark of the night, making them look especially sinister. Gold wasted no time. Attack! He shouted, and the battle was on. The Chem blocks and element blocks used everything they had against the forces of darkness, who were greatly outnumbered, but still had powerful dark magic to fight back with. Aluminum and Oxygen used their ruby sword and sapphire spear against Seeker, who grabbed them with his dark magic and was prepared to stab the two with their own weapons. However, Lutetium ran up and beamed him on the back and on the head with his trash bag. Hey, I am dying, he shouted. I told you this thing would work as a weapon, and I just dared. Dumbfounded that it had actually worked. The Mycelium and Nihonium fought against Magica, all three using the strongest magic they could muster. Ashi used her broken heart charge to fire blasts of magic at gold and silver, wanting to destroy the two rulers once and for all. She also used her mushroom charge to summon a ring of large mushrooms, which released their spores onto the royals. However, Arsenic pushed the two out of the way, allowing them to escape while she stood there, the spores not affecting her at all. You can't poison someone who's already poisonous, she boasted, as she growled at her core counterpart. Brady had left his robotic suit behind in favor of a backpack that shot out the metal coils, which wrapped around several blocks and violently slammed them into the ground. Thankfully, fire led the fire force in using their flames against the coils, melting them down and making Brainy cry out in frustration. I guess fighting alongside others is better than fighting alone, Fire admitted, smiling at his new Chemblock friends. That he noticed that something was missing. Wait, where's Potassium? What Light had whispered to Silver was the location of Darkness's lair, and shortly after she and Gold had escaped to Ashley's mushrooms, she told her husband of her plan and got Potassium to slip away with her, the chaos of the battle being a good distraction for everybody. The two Chemblocks ran as fast as they could, and finally came upon an area where they could see the entrance to a cave. They went inside, and in the cavern there were what appeared to be a prison bars. Behind these bars were the captured element blocks, who all immediately took notice of the intruders. Look, everyone! We're saved! Exclaimed Light. Look, everyone! We're saved! Exclaimed Light. Sound, Dream, Magic, and Mind all grinned, relieved that the blocks who entered the dungeon were friendly faces. That's right, Silver told the captives. Potassium, you know what to do. Potassium nodded and unleashed her violent fire upon the bars, melting them down and creating a gap wide enough for the element blocks to escape through. Let's hope we can get our powers back from darkness, said Magic. The other Chem blocks and element blocks are fighting against him, and as many as right now, Silver informed the crew. Well then, what are we waiting for? Let's go! Sound shouted out before speeding off. Well, she tried to speed off, but her absence of powers caused her to go at a normal speed instead of her usual super speed. I hate not having my powers. Back at the battle, both sides still refused to give in. Utria shot his ray gun up at Loyal Fire, who tried her best to dodge but was getting weakened by the blasts. and finally got taken down by a bolt of lightning from electricity. Ashi was targeting friendship and fun, prepared to blast them both out of frustration. Time to split! Shouted friend, who hopped off of ship. The three blocks ran around Ashi, disorienting her as she tried to keep up with all of them. Creativity saw the perfect moment to take Ashi down and quickly painted up a bow and arrow, which she shot at the rogue chem block. It hit her in the back, causing her to cry out in pain and plummet to the ground. One of her wings was torn in the fall, and she ran off to attend to her wound. Goggles has seen what happened and used his dark magic to grab creativity, ready to tear out all of her limbs. However, just like before, the Chromium ran him over with his race car before he could do anything. Oh, come on! Goggles shouted, unable to believe that this scenario had repeated itself. Seeing that Binarium and Nihonium were struggling against Magica, Nobelia realized that she had to do something. Not being one to think ahead, she leaped up at Magica, tackling her to the ground. When Magica freed her arm and held up her wand, Nobelium impulsively shoved her arm into the block's mouth. This would have ended badly for most blocks, but the radiation immediately took effect on Magica. She suddenly got nauseous, and after Nobelium got off of her, she struggled to stand up. Luckily for Magica, radiation poisoning wasn't as deadly to blocks as it was to humans, but she was still very sick on the verge of vomiting, which caused her to have to sit out the rest of the battle. Now the only villains left were Apalaka, Diaz, Silence, and Darkness. Apalaka attacked nature, choking her with dark magic. Carbon saw this and threw out a torment of diamonds, cutting Apalaka up pretty badly. She was still determined to keep fighting, though, and lunged at Carbon. Zirconium jumped in front of Carbon, and his plunger went right into Apalaka's face. After an awkward moment of silence between the two, Apalaka pulled the plunger off of her face, now far angrier than before. You two are dead! She lifted Zirconium and Carbon up into the air, but before she could kill them, she felt an immense pain in her side. Tin had swung his axe at her without thinking, leaving a large gash in the color block's torso. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, he shouted. He was normally pacifist. He was normally pacifistic, not even knowing why he had an axe. Apalaka wasn't paying attention to anything around her, only being able to focus on her major injury. She covered it up with her cloak and ran off, needing to treat it as quickly as possible. Diaz was shocked upon seeing what happened to her friend, which caused her to freeze in place for a moment. This allowed the beryllium to pin her to the ground, using her shield. I've got Diaz, she said. I don't know how long I'll be able to hold her though. As for Silence, his reaction to all the shouting had been to flinch and fix his noise-canceling headphones tighter, leading to the conclusion that sound was his weakness. With this in mind, Lithium and Samarium teamed up to take him down, with Lithium snatching his headphones off and Samarium assaulting his auditory senses with her guitar playing. Now Darkness was the only villain still able to fight. He unleashed all of his power against his opponents, taking out several chem blocks. Krypton and Uranium fought together, which the superhero and anti-hero rarely did, but this was a special circumstance. Unfortunately, Darkness grabbed onto both of them and squeezed them so hard that their bodies couldn't handle the pressure. Their souls flew up into the sky, and now they could do nothing but watch as the other blocks struggled against this menace. Gold was horrified by how many chem blocks were being killed. He knew that Iris would be able to restore their bodies, but not if darkness gained enough power to overthrow her. He turned to the remaining blocks. Come on, everybody! Let's give him all we've got! Upon hearing this, Creativity got an idea. He may have some of our friends' powers, but we have more powers combined. Let's unleash all of it at once. The element blocks realized she was right, and all of them went to surround darkness. Silver and potassium arrived just in time with the freed element blocks to witness what was about to happen. Darkness suddenly became frightened as his opponents prepared to unleash all their might. He lunged to several tentacles forwards, but was too late to stop them from simultaneously unleashing their powers. Darkness cried out in agony as he felt pain from all sides, the powers he gained being violently torn out of him and returning to their proper owners, which allowed them to join the barrage against him. As it was over, Darkness relented. Fine, you win! Severely weakened, he called for his followers, who all left with him, slinking away in pain and defeat. We did it, everybody! Gold shouted. We won! As the sun rose up over the horizon, the blocks all cheered, knowing that the worst had come to pass. Now the element blocks felt was the time to formally introduce themselves to the rest of Infinia. After all, Queen Iris would have to be paid a visit to restore all of the camp blocks that have been killed in battle, and the element blocks and the elements of Infinia wanted to meet the Queen of the Blocks for themselves. To be continued. Well, guys, it's over. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And speaking of Queen of the Blocks was our second story here on the world of Blocks, consisting of a prologue, 9 chapters, and an epilogue. The longest story ever. Today here on the World of Blocks. So if you haven't seen them, definitely go check it out. All right, but now I think all's well as well. So it all comes down to this, the final chapter, ladies and gentlemen. It all comes down to this. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't seen that actual show, episode day 82 is out now. The link is on the top corner screen for you to go check it out. And don't forget, we got 4 new episodes of Moshi Monster's biography coming out later today, as well as a new episode of Sammy and Kid Oranges. So please be sure to keep an eye out for that. You do not want to miss out on any of those. For now, thank you so much for watching. Because that's just you yourself, and I will see you tomorrow for the conclusion of the World of Blocks, the Elements of Infinia. That's right. Next time, it's the end of an era. With the Elements of Infinia, the epilogue. I can't believe it. You're not going to miss it. The story concludes tomorrow. That's right. We can finally conclude the World of Blocks, the Elements of Infinia tomorrow with the epilogue. So you know what I'm saying. And be on the lookout for our brand new story, The Book of Tail Blocks, starting up on Saturday. That's right, you know what to do. For now, I'm Ego Sanchez, writing you to please leave a like, share this video with your friends, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, turn on notifications to not miss a new video. Please turn on notifications on so that means not a new video from us. We're on the road to 400 subscribers. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. I'm Ego Sanchez for the World of Blocks, and stay tuned for all new Moshi Monsters biography later today. God bless and happy gaming. Thanks so much for watching. Laters!